So this is 1999, 24 February. Only Madam Hillary Clinton, no, former First Lady, Secretary of State, presidential candidate. I think so. Almost
the picture is so adoring.
Yes, almost the same in many ways. So attempted to be a president. She also attempted to be a president. Maybe a Secretary of State in one but former First Lady. In they have that synonymous again. Messiah could picture because of this one, Maya Angelou. I mean, one of we are seeing with 3 tributes. It pushed me. The tribute to Nelson Mandela. His day has come. A tribute back one, attach me pan. So that's Maya Angelou. That is Nana KONADU AGYEMAN-RAWLINgs. I brought this picture for symbolism. We know Maya Angelou and the activities so you be empowerment. And yeah, then they be my cousin will say, "Open who society be can one way had be major. Society they will treat man and color. A key man pan. So this is somewhere 1982. This picture between Dr. Maya Angelou and Nana KONADU AGYEMAN-RAWLINgs. And you could be a who knows a star, no, Madame Fulio because it's silhouette. You know, it's our iconic G and on the side. And I met sure be a free bar. And yeah, there's on a Flight Lieutenant John Rawlings, Achimota. Then you come to KNUST, Africa Hall, Konami Continental, Unity Hall. Intimate I can say I'm somehow affiliated to her because I know Africa Hall. No, remember a bit of contest here. Then this next picture is about the family. Correct for minimum one almost a said, but minimum say ba kodi anima ba kodi ya santua as another day I think a bit clear than Beman Kimati. So and obete na ho NDP say person contest 2016 about ballot and so because 22 contested Prof Mills anye ye. This is 2020. President Rawlings is free on the 12th of November 2020. 5 years any. So there's a bit of contest. Now let's go back to the Nana KONADU. Make sure an interview, you know. I learned certain things. Now, I looked at Kaima Dibia, I'm a pastor, can you say? God intervenes in the affairs of men using men.
Yeah.
Or say, Yankopon, Nanya, so the Brafred to Kubati, or say, Yankopon, yes, soon, Yankopon, Nishiano, Kem, Nishiana Doom. So, Bayam, what be a ma, or the Befeni Paso, then the Pious Amwana. Why am I saying so? And I couldn't do your own work, Cape Coast, Benin Soya Sant in 1948. Nana papa, Ayadmo UAC. Pay me checks and a trading company, supermarket, chains of companies, and yeah, they to movie. What's not swedro kakra? Free swedro no, and no more call takwa, and no more bank cocoa. Enjoy your world traveled. Na, and cocoa no cool school kakra, but none it's me any day.
Before so better so Eugene, I say literature in highlight your papa. Little is said of a mommy.
Yes. I think that papa because of prominent. It was a papa no free UAC no. Okay, yeah, GN or GNTC. Okay. That time, no, his father was one of the only 2 black managers arising to that position. No. The second man, I think Reginald Dana, that is Kofi Annan, papa. It was a papa no. I said, baby, no. There was that prominence. No, the first black say Chancellor. I was okay and was happy but for yet me that. He was the first black vice chancellor in Nimino. And I think say because of that clout and papa no one any baby humanity the man. But I think Elena Jimano so no Asante Royal no so your back could do for any other. The literature is there. And Osha or talking a lot about mame. Because none papa ne kwa round. None mame they say holding Krami and Sunny together any idea. No so call and cocoa none finian the date. In a black class as or quano deliberate ya. But first time on the casual cool school no. Around the Swiss cemetery kwa crano. That is school no say prestigious a promise school no call kakra. If you no call Ghana International School GIS and no kwa Achimota no kushia. Papa ye friend Jerry John Rawlings. And you see we are Achimota and call London. Kebia Rawlings are in the Kankema so. What happened? 2 days to so call London. Go on papa whisker. Papa is prominent. I no call ne uncle. I will invest your Ghana so I call Crano offer Missumi ko none of us a day be that. Only a bako or my. Only a bear marco or my. Also be so call any ye mentiasia. Or say oh no catch no offer and say interview a footprint or catch no offer and say about one yame papa. None of refugees or Santini. As Antinu papa knew your papa. Yes. And you say, oh, Quabron is a papa bonasum. Baba Panamon so the coffee and come away warm and no papa was uncommon. I found a coffee and a man on board one. Quite 2 days so called London. also ofia ne papa buy or friend maame ne wo fanso di akire no so nko ne dem na jampanifo bo nkomo wa ne maame di abufu aba say yesi enye ye pack bag enu mire na ya do kukumase listen and they be make say me say God has a way. So when people ask me to define my life, I'm a card be providence. Who say see ane dey won ti ase. But with hindsight no, o se senye manati sisi so hard me say ah Nyankopon na na ehye de no. Now, never financial dey okay Legon. Adam wan ko Legon. Sa time na Legon na agitation ho. Na KNUS na ho. Na no fa de ne buy. No fa de ne buy KNUS no de ko register so nko ya architecture. Ana KONADU o so no stubborn kakra. To twema no of akwade che no call register say there be meya art called decoration some ne ne fe. That was how she got into KNUST and when no ba KNUST no and obi she vice chancellor for Evans and Fum o penasem o tunu for ba betimi aye we to 31st December movement no aha and an APK
okay
interesting no and okoye deputy SRC general secretary. Now what's interesting is obey main SRC secretary no na SRC president or APV obeying Pro Victor obeying who will later become the secretary of secretaries for the PNDC.
Man no free akokare no.
Yes. Later become the chairman of the KNUST Council. Ghana we cannot write thinkers. To so pe jam name omo form European Union thinkers those who shape our politics are PV Obeng. There's an interesting story. To know your general secretary no, not PV Obeng and a KNUST SRC president. How would the relationship of PV Obeng form together with Rawlings? PV Obeng is a mechanical engineer or yajuma fishing company be a tamale. Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings and so ne KONADU mpratwe ye because one call land in Ogusu or Ghana. No pe obi onim afidie hu ne ma bi no aboa no armed forces ne ma bi no oh me abranti ana me di secretary president o ye mechanical engineer. That was the connection between Rawlings and PV Obeng.
Okay.
So when I say America no, sometimes these all these things are divinely connected in a certain way. It's in activism no. Sen ka hwe the target training the other band the nkemwa. But back university for you to become a secretary of an SRC, so of election you need to have mobilization.
Yeah. And
now for so good morning gun. At a point, the 31st December movement, they had almost 2 million people. You won't cry school, your colleague friend to tell friend to the first time we school of boy to me area, na 31st December school. My man and Casa by the bill soon or a poem at the man. Omo volunteers a coach and papa say, obey man in the pebi, uncle school nibi. So first time I went to classroom, 31st December movement school, and then obo Ghana first journalists, obo 10, 20, 20 here bebem. So the impact no wide. And when I'm academic, at a point, some researchers even quote 870 preschools and community schools will create here. That is the impactful. Me first lady from Bombay so me because of my but she was the longest serving, briefly 79, and I started 31st December 1981. A Koya Junta for almost 11 years, transitioned to become the first one in the first Republican dispensation. Me who first said the union was impactful, some Amida. She was that impactful, and it's because of one uncle's advice. It's for me, I'm a traffic will be a cobra, and I'm a catcher one for say. Sometimes we be two. Is there so bad transfer? Soon, you know, now that's why you're more. No? Learn the lessons in there, then move on. Maybe God is orchestrating that pattern because of Bibia and that one him. Go be a Colandana, Edian Caraya and Kemaso. And in fact, let me kind who was it? Ambassador DK or say some of these established diplomas say sometimes even the transition to the democratic rule in the Fourth Republic, you can credit her.
Yeah, largely.
Because for you to become the wife of J.J. Rawlings in publicly, and then this our Henemano. Hardly pass over Tess and Crown, so she played a certain significant role. It's immediate, she needs to be celebrated. State, to His Excellency, 3 days state morning. Flag if you say half mass and flag half mass near there a good state by there a cocoa by. But it also tells you say nipa biana sometimes you need to also take certain decisions if you feel strongly about it.
Especially bold ones.
Bold ones.
Bold ones.
And I know can you be
so you're a minority, no?
Yes. Also no can you be bold. Oh, na senior, they me catch am oh you Jimmy Poison can you say? Edman na me you be anko. You see, at the end clear. Let me give you an example. And now, Obi sending me video be about Adoma Kubefi. Or Bonku bi ni amu MPP ni ade. Many kwado jam to tran kem. Yes, I am for your is can eka. So they be an say your kind no. O person will take group think ideas. But you be a one a kubia. You will not distinguish yourself. But sad no here no. He should have captured this in the fourth Republican dispensation or bar or contested for the first time on the ballot. I don't know. Or baby the kind sad no. Ebe mo my obenya motivation be there to sana mo. Maybe Ghana get a female president. Who knows? Fene baba na zena to the war yen and you get it. And you know to anamono. And for me, obi past 70. And I mean me who say sad. I rather see it as a celebration of life. Celebration of life because literature and doso. Tamana me hwe no hwe ne exposure any bibia. But luckily for her no, kadeba kwam the bashes and go for no so munchuru book.
Oh yes.
Because you see no why books are powerful. The favorite pebi bafo agyeman-dia. Onu see your Kofo Foundation. Otro book could be an IK champion. When I read the book, I had a different view about IK champion. And for me, after Kwame Nkrumah, there's no Ghanaian leader head to head who beat the champion. To me, after reading that book, because that book could serve as the igniter could be further. The book could make kind of weekend. So we are happy that we leave the book be near Yanazan Crano, they say Papa Nio Mamino, but my penny for. So they can. Now sadly, Nanka, I think so the birthday is 17th November. Well, Miss me November born. I think I cut just about what? Roughly 22 days and nobody the 77th birthday. Mamma no looking the age crying, half a pa 77. But some your kind sometimes you know nyame nim ne warrior you know yeah the best dressing yakopon
on her me that say the way I will see a baby near so but me from where I'm coming from because of my background even though her yemra
yes
development of law
yes
obi a constitutional law kakra bia be hu say you cannot discuss constitutional law. Abra onhwe MPP versus Attorney General, the 31st December movement case. When we say na 31st December no you cool ne see. Na o mine institutionalize say e be day I drew where o mine be celebrate. MPP at the time took the matter to court. There one particular case a travel year pa it was Supreme Court. My you should that particular case you know they establish a separation of powers. They establish the supremacy of the constitution. And when you say the court intimate interfere say you instituted the bisa a holiday. Now that is supposed to be under the purview and preserve for the legislature and the executive. And the say 31st December woman and as a woman or more movement no say case in which me aba na shaping even the discourse of our law. I think she is the she was the architect behind
yes it. Even another one cried the literature on the PNDC law 111 the interstate succession law hi ban kola papa frim na busuafo abagim ni ade no even lumba nsama ye kan nyina say kura no kakra wo unzo me anoma ko interstate succession law ni nyina ono ne activism any ade no
na nyia ba bedru say spousal or marital rights
yes entina me say me bi o kan say ade ni chief of staff ka a man first lady sky this kind of coin. I was in between. Say sometimes you see obi play role bia. For example, Otumfo. Charlie, niamo moye nukromu hana andaji no. Go and read Manasa Azuri documentary about book, the 4th John. Charlie, the role Otumfo played in 2016 to safeguard Ghana's peace in Ulim. It's sometimes role no. Enya visible sir and also some rule delicate one you careful as you are trying to usurp the powers of your husband you know it's they play very key role but I was also not too happy. And now I catch an agent on Thursdays. I say, Ubuana. Because me can't any monumental DBI name after her. On top of my head, menka, and now me busa Madame Leo or Love FM. My colleague, you know, can say, oh, Scooby Ashtown, 31st December, back on your friend KONADU Asa. There's nothing really monumental about her. But to share the empowerment when it comes to women, maybe as a girl senior high school, be cry.
Yes.
Something. Yeah. Because you see, that they are not so what. Emma, a shank of phone cries, I will be a when you're the needing now, what can be beer. Say, mini baby, say. So maybe she paid, and you see, when it comes to Rollins, I did analyze here. I make us a chalk and cheese. There are people who will love him. There are people who hate him. The dark days were real.
Yeah.
Okan Rollins, how did be born? The dark days are real. Yeah. We all have heard the stories. We all watch the.
And as analytical as you are,
yeah.
All discussed days you will look at the exigencies of the time.
Exactly.
At the time.
Exactly.
Were they not being hailed?
Yes.
Junior Jesus.
Yes.
Let the blood flow.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
So when you come into a different dispensation, now we're discussing those days.
Yes.
You should approach it with circumspect.
Yes, the context is important. The back can no kind hailing no tiny. But the back can't all okay. But all that I will say is that history will be kind to her. She played a role, and Medrin said the state should celebrate her in that order. Intimidated the NBC. Now, yeah.